Welcome, y'all. Another edition of L Miller Learn and Implement. Here, let's talk about Mysonne. This dude, a failed rapper and a damn fake activist for money. Got with Black Lives Matter when he was down on his luck. That's why you'll never see him talk bad about Democratic people, and always talk bad about Republicans and Trump or whatever, right? But let's listen to this garbage right here, real quick.
That there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on when it comes to us as a people, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And then when this became like a blatant reality to me, in prison.
Yeah.
In prison, like you'll get a guy to get a job at the laundry.
I swear, every story is prison. But let's continue.
He don't
Ain't the
want.
same dude on the yard no more. Like the dude you was when you didn't have no gig. You know what I'm saying? When you was waking up, you know what I'm saying, doing 1,000 burpees, all that, you was a convict, you know. Now you get a gig folding clothes, like $30 a month. And then, Unicorn, they were the triple digit dudes. You know what I'm saying? That was the biggest salary you can get on the yard, the Unicorn. All of them switched up soon. They got the job because the list.
Of course, people switch. It's called growth. Why would you keep doing the same stupid shit after you put yourself in a better position than you was? Let's continue.
Used to be so long to get approved for a spot at Unicorn. And the minute they get a job, it's like
But
business off limits now.
that's what white supremacy does. That's the.
What the fuck is my son talking about white supremacy? Because a dude bettered himself and changed. That has nothing to do with no white supremacy. Stupid.
Structure. That's the system. See, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not racism.
So my question is like, I mean, cut you off, but how
I'm glad Loon kind of cut him off, but he gonna let him get right back into it. Let's continue watching.
do we how do you correct that? Because I mean, is definitely to add to that statistic.
Mhm.
If we was 100 years ago at 2%,
And I'm trying to figure out what exactly Loon is trying to correct. Like, what the hell are you trying to correct, Loon? Correct what? Not becoming better? Not changing circumstances and moving on from ignorant shit? What are you trying to correct?
here we go fast forward 100 years later with all of the opportunities, all of the successful black people that came, to fruition, all of the people that emerged in all these different prominent, positions. To still be at 2%, is that just based on the ratio of wealth that, has came about 100 years later? Or are we doing better than we were today than we were then?
I would say we actually doing worse because we were way more unified then. Right before we wanted to build things in unison. We had Black Wall Street. We had 10 and 1500 millionaires that want to sit down and say we gonna build something for us, right? And they destroyed it, but we don't even have that no more. We don't have. I sit there and say, if you look at these billionaires we got, why y'all not? Kanye sat there and had a whole rant about what these people was doing to him.
And he loved to keep Kanye West cock in his mouth too. And what all of what black billionaires, most of the black billionaires are Africans, not African Americans. So why would they have interest in black neighborhoods? That's number one. Fucking dummy.
But you had $1 billion, Kanye. Why you didn't build the shit that you telling us that you can't get? Why you didn't sit down with 5 or 6 more billionaires and build your own of that? The same way Sway told you to do it, right? Because you don't want to do that, right? Because you want to be able to say, I got more than everybody. You want to be the sole billionaire and trillionaire and look down on everybody. This is where the problem is. So when we look at them, you don't even know who they billionaires. You got to look in books to find out the white people that got money. But what they do is they pass that down for generations. They got their families, their whole block, right? They don't move out the hood. They don't move when they get millions. They don't move off their block to go live with somebody else.
Yeah.
My son's a fucking retard. You think poor white people who become rich stay in fucking poor neighborhoods? Are you retarded? You think some trailer park white boy get rich and he gonna stay in a fucking trailer park? Live in some little rundown hick town in Mississippi, in Alabama. You really think poor white people doing that? They sticking around. It's a dummy. Fucking dummy.
Right?
That's a
We
fact.
get millions and leave. Why we don't get millions and come change them same hoods into our blocks? Because
And number two, how many black people becoming millionaires? How many white people becoming millionaires? That's not a common thing to do. Just how you know these niggas dump and they stuck on entertainers. They looking for entertainers to be leaders when entertainers are entertainers. It take the average person, black or white, about 30 years to become a millionaire. Not saying they poor for 30 years, but that's how long it takes for most millionaires to obtain assets and wealth that accumulates to $1 million. Like retirement age, basically. That's how long it takes. Then on top of that, you have expenses in your own family to deal with. That's how you know these dudes don't know finances. If you think multiple millionaires, I don't think they understand how much it takes to change a community and how much finances it takes to change a community. Because he's so damn ignorant and he pushing this black white narrative for Black Lives Matter. The tie into people emotions and his audience don't even he's not financial literate and his audience isn't either, right? So when he say this, they sit here and listen to, oh yeah, so and so got $5 million, he can go change the whole neighborhood. You can't. It's something else money can't change is behavior. So what millionaire gonna stick in the fucking hood with his damn family and get terrorized by criminals that you love pushing?
that's where all our people is at.
Mm.
So you move. What you do is you separate yourself from your people. You you isolate yourself and you fit into their structure.
No, you separate yourself from some ignorant ass niggas is what you separating from. Separating from your damn people. And you ingratiate yourself with like-minded people while separating from ignorance.
And you take the wealth out the
And you take the
community.
wealth out of the community, and then you make yourself feel like you better than everybody else, or these people can't fit in here. I can't even bring them here because they're gonna mess up my shit. If I bring them around these white people, they don't even know how to talk the same way. I learn how to talk. I'm more educated. I'm more sophisticated. Instead of saying, you know what, I got $1 billion. This whole project, if I could take the project and tell everybody to give me $100, I'm gonna put the money up. This whole block where all these other people own these stores, we're gonna buy these stores, right? So now Miss Joanne's son got a job. He ain't got to stay on the corner. We gonna take first two.
Eh, let's stop this narrative. I ain't got a job. I gotta sell crack. That's some bullshit. It's plenty of jobs out here, and that's the thing. Even if he did get a job at the corner store, we gonna make $7 an hour. Oh, Miss Joanne's son, he can work in the store. He ain't got to sit on the corner. What? Just because he ain't got a job? How about he get up and try to find a job? How about invest in a trade? This is the ignorance I'm talking about. Pushing this false ass narrative on black people.
200 people that put their money in, and we're gonna open up these stores, and one of our kids gonna get jobs there,
Yeah.
and we're gonna teach the kids how to run whatever thing. We're gonna plant our own food. We don't have that ideology, and that comes from white supremacy. It comes from the master's house, right?
I can't listen no more of this bullshit. He's aggravating. But let's continue on with him while we at it. Because he always preaching, oh, I got so much integrity. Oh boy. So he run talk about boycott Black Lives Matter. At the same time, he promotes no snitching. So if you can snitch and turn a black murderer into an inmate and get him off the streets, I guess he's against it. I'm only say I guess. I know for a fact he's against it. He's still trying to be like hip and cool and an activist at the same time. He still try to be street while being an activist. Confusion at its best. Let's listen to this nonsense right here.
I was arrested for doing robberies that I never committed, actually.
He probably did that shit, but let's go. Let's just take his word for it.
Two armed robberies of cab drivers that I never actually committed. So I went to trial and ended up losing that trial, blowing trials, as we say, and being sentenced to 7 to 14 years.
7 to 14. Oh, I didn't know that second part.
7 to 14 means your minimum is 7 and your maximum is 14. So
Right.
basically, if you go to when you go to after 7 years, you see
This dumbass nigga was a crash dummy. He was a fucking crash dummy. So he said, basically, he says friends did the crime and he did the time. And at the same time, he's big on no snitching. And at that same time, he had a child. So obviously, your friend don't give a flying fuck about your child or you. If he so-called did this crime and he sat there and let you sit in prison for 7 years. Because guess what? Your friend ain't hold you down. Because Vlad was sitting there helping you with money. So he did 7 years for a nigga, get out of prison, and you run to the white man who you just got through talking about white supremacy for fucking money.
parole board. They look at your your prison record and see if you are prepared to re-enter society. They can ultimately hit you with a maximum of 2 years, or they can let you go home.
Okay. And how old were you when you got locked up?
20.
20. So let's talk about the situation for a second. Two cab drivers got, I guess, beat up and robbed.
One was robbed at gunpoint. No, both of them were supposedly robbed at gunpoint. One was beat up and jumped by a bunch of people, and one was robbed at gunpoint just by itself.
Were these two separate incidents?
Two separate incidents.
Okay. And both those cab drivers said that you did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said you didn't do it.
Yes.
Were you there when these situations happened?
The original, I got arrested in 97. And me and a cab driver got into an altercation. No, he was never robbed. There was never a weapon. There was never a gun. There was never anything. Me and him got into a physical altercation over him wanting to pay me to pay him more than I felt he should be paid.
Okay.
So he pulled out a bat. I tried to run from the cab. He swung the bat, missed me. I ended up breaking my toe.
So basically, what happened is he skipped out on his cab fare. But let's go.
Month later down the line, he comes to my neighborhood and we out there playing CeeLo. And my son's mother, who was there during the first altercation, sees the cab.
See what I mean? His son. So he had a son when he took 7 years for another man. Stupid ass nigga.
I was like, oh, this is the guy right here that chased you. So me, I'm kind of smart. I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna say nothing. Just get his thing. I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna call him one day. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him one day. We're gonna catch him, But I knew, I'm like, I'm not gonna do nothing to him here because I live on this block. So unfortunately, she didn't take my advice. She ended up telling my friends, that's the guy that chased my son. They approached him like, yo, you chased my friend? He's like, no. I didn't do anything to him. It was a mistake, whatever. So me and him started talking. Next thing you know, somebody hit him. Me and him are tussling. While we tussling, I hit him and he falls. Okay. I just ran off.
So you did hit the nigga. What are you talking about? You say you didn't do nothing to him. You say somebody hit him and somehow you tussling with him too and you hit him. You did the shit. And you skipped out on $3 cab fare, broke ass. Yo, this is crazy.
So there was another physical altercation.
There was a physical altercation, but there was no robbery. There was no weapon. I got arrested. I mean, I got locked up for armed robbery.
Okay, so this is the same guy twice.
No, the second guy I've never even seen or heard from.
Okay, so there's another guy. But both guys testified against you and said that you were.
No, actually, the first guy came to court and he realized that he had lied in his statement because his statement was that me and 5 guys walked up to him with knives and guns and told him to give me your money, and that never happened. You know, it was a altercation. We ran after I hit him and he fell. I ran, and he went and made up a story, so he couldn't actually go to court because it would have been
Inside the lion habitat at the zoo. Went back there this morning. These are messages to the spirits of father.
perjury. He couldn't say, yo, I lied. It was never no weapons. Nobody robbed me and none of that. So he tried to retract his statement and not testify, but the jury didn't really care.
Yeah, he's a failed rapper and fake activist. I guarantee you, had he made it as a rapper, you wouldn't hear none of this blackly black stuff from this dude, man. But I'm back on my blog and stuff, so y'all stay tuned. Got some good stuff in the works. L Miller, learn to implement.